Hello, it's Dawn from Create to 8 and Create with Confidence. And first of all, I apologize for the noise, but Demon Kitty's in here playing with her favorite toy. This is the calendar that you're getting ready to make, the planner. And I've used a recycled calendar for the cover. And I have added some contact paper. It's got a fluorescent sheen on it, so it's iridescent sheen from the contact paper that I used. But I wanted to show you the finished product, or semi-finished. I have a bracelet clasp on it, just open it, magnetic. And what you don't see from the finished product is that I've added some ribbon. I've added, the tabs, the index tabs. These are the only things that I purchased. Still haven't done my goals for the year, but I do have the at glance. I've added some doodling here. I've added some ribbon to this envelope here. Haven't completed my important dates. For the journals, or for the months, you see I've added my task and some goals. I inserted, or I glued on, these little circular cutouts that I did, and I highlighted the days of the month and the months themselves with pens. You can use pencils also. I did some doodling here along the edge where I made a mistake. I accidentally put in one too many columns, so I just doodled and colored there, and it bled through, so I added a piece of cardstock there, and I doodled down here and colored it with colored pencils. Doodled down here and colored that with colored pencils. Let's see, where else? Doodled there with some little colored pencils and pens. Doodled here, and here and here, and just highlighted. And some more doodling. So you can just add all sorts of different additions to your journals just by doodling or stamping or whatever you want to do. That's about as far as I've gotten with the weeks, and I haven't really done anything with the notes yet. Oh, I did add the belly band. That was just a scrap of paper, and I put on a piece of just plain paper onto the back of that, because remember, I like that horse, and that's going to be for writing. And then I did my social media calendar, and I've got this flip for writing. I've got my end of the year reflection, and I still have to write my letter to myself, and I've added coordinating ribbon here that matched the mane there. So I just wanted to show you some things that you can add to your planner to make it more fun, that don't require stickers. They don't require anything special, just pens, pencils, some doodling. You can use stamps, whatever you have, just to make it more fun. So if this looks like something that's interesting to you, which is taking a composition notebook and make it into a planner, stay tuned for the tutorial. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Hello, this is Dawn from Create to 8 and Create with Confidence. And what I'm going to do today is create my planner for 2026. So what I've got is just the composition book that I got at Walmart when they were on sale. I think it was 50 cents or something right after school. And I picked up a whole bunch of them because they're great for just about anything. I use them for Bible journals, writing journals, my planners, my studio journals. Like I said, just all sorts of things. This one I'm going to use for my planner for 2026. And I just doodled this the other night. Courage is going to be my word for 2026. Each year I have a word that I use to help me. Last year was dream, and the year before that was focus. So this year is courage, because I'm kind of a chicken when it comes to promoting myself and doing things that would help my business grow. So I doodled this, and I'm going to use this in my journal. And if you're interested in seeing how I do something like this, let me know, and I'd be happy to do a video on it. So I've got the composition book. Like you see, it's just a normal composition book. I have gone in and just penciled in some things. And this is a cutout from last year's wall calendar that I had. And I was going to take it down and throw it away, but it had horses on it. And I absolutely love horses. And I thought, that's just too pretty to throw away. So I thought maybe I'd use these for the covers for my journal. And then I could use some for the inserts. So what I did was I glued pages that I hadn't used on last year's journal on the back. And then I'm going to use these as kind of like inserts where I need them. And maybe like dividers or Dutch doors or something. And then I could have writing things on the back. Let's see. This was another one I did. This was the back of the calendar. And I just love this guy. I may have to trim him down some. Another one. I think I've already got him folded down so that I can flip. But I just cut them out after I glued on a piece of paper. So we're going to go through putting on the front and back covers, some inside paper and pockets and things like that, and mark out the different sections of the journal. So I hope you'll enjoy this. I wanted to do something that really didn't require a whole lot of specialty papers or expensive things. I know a lot of us can't afford that kind of stuff right now. So I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start with this one. She kind of reminds me of a horse that I had. It was a Tennessee Walk. No, sorry. I've got a Tennessee Walker now, but this was a quarter horse that I had. And she was quite a character. So I'm going to use this one for the front and this one from the back because I just love this horse. I think it's gorgeous and I love the background. So I'm going to trim this part off right here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it onto the front here. I'm going to leave that black. That's going to be fine. I'll add some lace or a little bit of ribbon right here to divide it. Yeah, sorry, I still haven't put WD-40 on my chair, so it's still squeaky. So I'm just going to put glue, and I'm just using the tacky glue, which I've added just a little bit of water to it to make it flow a little bit better. And I'm going to the edges there. And then around and around and around. Okay. And just gonna put her like right there. Maybe try to center it a little bit better. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, let's move that back. Okay. Yeah, well, this isn't the perfect channel, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, I'll just cover that up with a little bit of ribbon. Okay. And I'm going to fold it in to just cover this. Put some glue on this. Just trim the corners here. And glue this down. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back. If you wanted to use 12 by 12 cardstock, that'd be great. If you've got some of that, a lot of people have that left over. And I used that on my last year's planner, which is right here. You can see it's a little beat up some, but I used cardstock on that one. So I've got some more horses here. This one kind of looks like a horse I have now. I love these Belgian drafts. This calendar was actually from the Gentle Giants. So let's see, if I was to put this in here, what I would want is 9 3/4. by 7, and I wouldn't want to go to a half, so probably 7 1/4. So let me trim these down, say 9 1/2. Okay, so that looks good for that one. So I'm going to add some glue here. And add some glue on this one. This page right here is going to be for my goals and my word of the year, which is right here. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is have a flip. So I'm looking to see if I have any. Well, I have this tape. This will work. I was looking to see if I had any washi tape floating around here. I usually have some up here. Because that would be prettier than just tape. Okay. You don't need tape. You don't need pretty all the time. Or washi tape. So, okay, so we're just going to use this. And I'm just going to tape it here. And yeah, I got a little piece of dirt there. Open it up a little bit. And put some tape on this side. Okay, so I could write on this page if I wanted to. And what I'm using here is just a Sharpie black .07 pen. It's good for writing, and I can go back and color over it. So I am just going to write goals for the year. I don't know what my goals are yet. Well, I kind of do, but. And then down here, I'm going to say, because we'll number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 goals, or have many. And then I'm going to make a box or a divider right here. And say why they matter to me. Okay, and just leave that like that. And this next page is my year at a glance. Okay. And I've got boxes penciled in here. So I've got 6 months per page. And each month, what did I use here? I used a centimeter to mark my weeks. So I've got, mark my days. I've got 5 weeks, 7 days, and so in the centimeters, the days are marked by centimeters. And I don't mind the shadow through. If it bothers you, you can do this with a different pen, or you can glue 2 pages together. That's just up to you. Okay, so I'm just marking these boxes here, get this started. I won't do the whole thing. I just want to get you guys started on this. Okay. And between each month, I've got 2 lines. Once I get these inked in, I'll just erase the pencil marks. But I figured it'd be easier if I had go ahead and measured this out beforehand and had it just kind of roughed out a little bit so it wouldn't take so much of your time. And then in between, I've just got a little divider here. And that's just to help me visually. So we'll just start there, and then in between you can do a circle or a heart or whatever you want to do. So this first one would be, of course, January. And February. And January 1st is Thursday, I think. Okay, I won't put that in yet, but I think it's Thursday. And you can start it on a Sunday or a Monday. And I see now I should have gone down one more, so I could have had put Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So when y'all do it, skip 2 here also at least, so that you can put those days up there. Okay, so then you would just fill in January, February, March, April, May, June, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. The next section is going to be, if I can open this up. Important dates. And these I usually put down families' birthdays, holidays, things like that. And I'm going to put a divider here. So I wanted to put a divider there. And I also wanted to put an envelope like right here to hold things in. So this is just a junk mail envelope. And what I've done is I've taken one of my pages from the calendar and I am just going to glue it onto here and make sure I don't glue onto there. So let me just get started right here and go through the top. And then come to the back here and just glue it onto the back. Making sure I don't put any glue inside. It's going to be like that. Okay, I actually don't want to put it on, no, I could put it on there like that. Or I could put it on here. So let me put this on first. I need to put a little more glue around here. I used glue stick last night when I was gluing these together. It doesn't always work out great. And if I had thought about it, I wouldn't have cut all the paper off of the horse calendar part. So I would have had a lip to glue there. But of course I didn't think about it when I was cutting it. Okay, so what I want to do now is take and do some glue right here. And I want that right along there. Okay. I'm just going to add some tape there to help reinforce that. Yeah, with my dirty fingerprints. Okay. So I got that pretty guy. Flip open. I can write right here. Put down my important dates right there. And then right here, do I want to do that there? Or do I want to do? I think I want to do that over here. Put my envelope. So let me put some glue on this. And just glue it to the page here. And open it up, stick things in there. And that won't fit there. Let me get rid of that ugly piece. And put that there. Just kind of clean that ugly piece up a little bit. So it's not so ugly. Okay. And I've got writing space here now. Okay. So the next thing I've got are my monthly pages. The first month, of course, is going to be January. Okay, so I'll just put January there. And January there. And I'm using 5 rows here for the days, for the weeks, sorry. Except for the last week is not going to be quite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since we have 5 weeks, it's not going to be quite 5 rows. And each week is approximately 1 1/4 inch. Okay. So I've got goals. For each month and task for each month. And I'm just going to put that in there like that. And you can start your day or your week on whatever day you want. I just start mine on Sunday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay. And I'll make sure I've got it down here that the first is on Thursday, but I'll double check that. So I'll write down the days of the month here and then any appointments that I've got in there. Okay. And I'll do each month. So I've got this set for February, March, April, May, June. Let's see, that's November, December. Okay. And then I start monthly reflections. So here I've got January, would be my January reflections for the month. And this would be February reflections. So I put down things, what happened, what went well, what challenges I had, etc. So I've got days marked down for months for those. And then I go into my weekdays. And I have 2-page layouts for my weeks too. So for week 1, which is this week, December 28th through January 3rd. I would put down my focus for this week, my goals for this week, and then whatever task I have that would help me accomplish these goals. I put down here. And then I want a section for reflections and gratitudes. Because if you write down what you're grateful for, sure does make you feel a lot better about life. I think we all kind of take advantage of what we've got, or don't really appreciate what we have. And if we write down what we're grateful for, it just gives us a greater appreciation for it. Try to get that straight there. The pen may be running out of ink. I use this all the time for drawing and stuff. Okay, so I got that. So I'll put down challenges that I've had and maybe what I've overcome. Or lessons learned. And here, gratitude. Okay. You don't have to skip a line if you don't want to. Okay, and then here I'll put down days of the week. This will be December 28th, which was Sunday. Not a whole lot happens on Sundays with me, except for laundry. December 29th. Monday, skip 2 days. December 30th. Just Tuesday today. December 31st. Wednesday. January 1st. Thursday. January 2nd, Friday, January 3rd, Saturday. Okay, and just put lines to divide. Oops, divide those weekdays up. Man, I really can't draw a straight line today, even with a ruler. That's what whiteout's for, right? Or stickers. I put a little sticker there for some reason. Okay, a New Year's Eve sticker. Okay, so there's our weeks, and then I've got this set up so that I've got the 52 weeks in here. So that I know I've got enough room to set aside for the 52 weeks. And then I've got a section for notes. I put some notes in my daily journals or dailies in here. I'll put notes in my days, but I also like to have some notes in the back so I can keep up with some things. So I will just put this right here. Kind of divide that a little bit. Okay. And then these are just for notes. I've got a section for my social media calendar that I want to try to create to help me stay on track for social media. And basically I just have like the newsletter and the blog, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest, the days of the week, 5 weeks, and when I want to post certain things. So I'll do that later so that I don't bore you guys with that. And I have my end of the year reflection. So I'll say 2026 reflection. Okay, and that'll take up these 2 pages. And on this last page, what I'll do is I'll have a pocket . Pocket like this, maybe. Yeah, I'll put it right that way. Okay, and this is just from the from what I cut out from the calendar, as you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that. Put that in there. And what I'll put in here is a letter to myself. So within the next day or so, I'll write a letter to myself now as to what I would have hoped for myself at the end of 2026. Okay. So what's left of this is to decorate it. Add some colors and things to it. One thing I did do was the calendar had the pictures of all the different months on it with the horses. So I just cut them out into circles And what I'm going to do is for like the months when I have a blank at the end of the month or something, I can just put a horse at the end of the month or at the top or wherever I want to put it. Okay, just to help decorate it and bring it from one month to the next. So I've got 12 of these for 12 months. So right now I'll just tuck it in that little envelope right there. Other things I'm going to do are I have some index tabs. I have some index tabs here. And I'll write the different sections in the months on my index tabs, starting from the back and flipping up towards the front because that makes things easier. And I've got highlighters, and what I like to do with the highlighters are to highlight the days, and on my dailies highlight like the days here and things, the gratitude, challenges, things there. So that gives you an idea of this, and I'll show it to you when I finally get it decorated. Ow, demon cat has climbed up my back again. Okay, sorry. I was looking to see if I had any, shoot, my mind's just gone blank today. I was putting up Christmas stuff. I think that's just fried my brain. Okay, see you in a moment. Ooh, yuck, I got glue on my hands. So now that tape's all messy. Oh, there's that cat again. Okay, you want to say hi to everybody so that they know I'm not crazy, that you're actually jumping on my back to say hi. I love you. Okay, down you go. Okay, so week 1,